Indian cricket fans do not like Australian cricketers. Well, not unless he's a superstar who's had great rapport with, say, an Indian legend like Shane Warne, or it's someone unbelievably cute and talented like Elisa Perry or Meg Lanning. It's not about the superficiality, no. Aussies are the second rivals to India right after Pakistan, so it's pretty much war. You can possibly admire their skills from a distance, a fair distance, but you cannot really like them and worse, become a fan, which is why a lot of us were skeptical when Hyderabad franchise decided to spend so much on someone like Pat Cummins. You knew he would be made captain, an Aussie captain, and there is some reason for that. Apart from an Indian captain, Aussies have been the most successful. 3 IPL titles by Aussie captains, so yes, makes sense. But after Pat Cummins vowed to silence the Indian fans at Ahmedabad and that heartbreaking defeat in the final of the Cricket World Cup, Pat Cummins was definitely a marked man. So the road ahead was already steep. And helming a franchise that has finished at the bottom or near about of the points table over the last 3 years, Cummins had his hands full. That narrow loss in the first game, despite a few good performances, again reiterating the point. But what a fantastic turnaround it was at home against Mumbai Indians. Records tumbled. Hyderabad worked up a storm, won at home after what felt like ages, and the batters were monstrous. Let's get the records out of the way then, shall we? Most runs scored in a single IPL match in the history of the league, 523 between both the sides. Highest ever individual team total scored, 277 for 3. That's what Hyderabad scored batting first. Most sixes hit in a single game, 38. First batting pair to complete 50s in less than 20 balls. That was Abhishek Sharma and Travis Head for Hyderabad. It was not a great night if you were a bowler, but Hyderabad played like a new brand of cricket. Attacking and impactful. They recognized their strength, which is their batting, kept a flat deck and piled on the agony. They brought in Travis Head and he and Abhishek Sharma unleashed mayhem. And when that was halted, Aiden Markram and Henry Klaasen dug in and annihilated the Mumbai attack. Klaasen proving to have the season, proving to be consistent and deadly this season, a super combination. It was going to be difficult for any team to chase that humongous total down. It was a battle half won. The Mumbai came out with a solid response in quarters. They couldn't really get past that target. The other reason was not the lack of firepower in the batting department. They have the hitters, though Surya Kumar Yadav would have been sorely missed. But Pat Cummins and his acumen paid off. He made some strategic bowling changes, and some key overs towards the middle of the innings proved to be the difference. Pat Cummins, the leader, is emerging, coming to the forefront compared to Hardik Pandya, who's not having a great outing as a new captain, but credit to his quiet confidence and the Mumbai dressing room that is keeping things cool. They released a video recently of how Hardik was encouraging the lot despite the heartwarming and heart-wrenching defeat, rather. It is, after all, a long tournament and you need to ride the ebbs and flows. But let's speak about Pat Cummins, the man who supposedly silenced Indian crowds, has gained some fervour with the way he has gone about his business in this franchise. And it's all just begun. In a sponsor event, for example, for the Hyderabad franchise, in fact, the crowd chanted silence all over just to get Pat Cummins to do that shushing gesture and broke into claps and cheers. The fans clearly like this Aussie at the helm, so far at least. He's a leader who's clearly charming the masses, and just to delve into what makes him the leader he is, Cummins early last year, in fact Jan 2023, was deeply affected by the death of his mother, Maria, who passed away suffering from cancer. And he said that he was in the middle of a tough Indian series during that time. And Australia, in fact, lost that series because his mind was obviously away with his mother. And he said that phase transformed him, his psyche as a leader. He became more understanding, more giving. He encouraged his team, his men, to strike the right balance between life and work, cricket and family, wins and losses. And maybe that's exactly what Hyderabad needs a load of at this point. A team that has seen the highs, and a lot of good highs, as well as a very, very huge stretch of lows. And him coming in with his philosophy is possibly going to get the best out of this bunch. And after that win or loss, doesn't matter much, does it? That's what he comes with. But it is ironical how life flips a switch. Pat Cummins just months ago was at a position that Hardik Pandya finds himself in currently. At that Cricket World Cup, Pat Cummins was the enemy. He was not booed, but the cheers were only for India to win. Now come IPL, Pat Cummins was cheered during the game and Hardik Pandya was booed instead. So it was not just Ahmedabad, but even Hyderabad that was giving it off to Hardik. But here's the thing, the biggest champions strike hard when they are cornered. And if Pat Cummins could silence a packed Narendra Modi Stadium, the biggest stadium in the country, Hardik Pandya will be striving to do much of the same.